All right, Mr. Mike Draco in the house tonight. Hey, it's time for Shop Talk Sunday night here in the land of the frozen tundra. But hey, it's all right. We got the heater cooking in the shop. We're out there getting ready to build. Cannot wait. Good to see all you guys piling in tonight already. Jeremy Sather, David Crum from Jersey, Robin Higginbottom, Bruno Coppola in from New Hampshire, Professional Monkey, what's up, children? Bill Stevens in the house with us. Good to see all you guys, man. It's going to be a fantastic show tonight. Cannot wait to get started. Can't wait until we get this month's issue of the magazine done because we are out in the shop building frames. Hope you're doing something with your motorcycle too. Remember, when they're cold, you're cold. How's that go, Mark? When you're cold, they're cold. Listen, just pick up a wrench and go do something.
The heat's in the tools.
Heat's in the tools. I had a boss that used to say that. Heat's in the tools, Chris. I'd go to touch the thermostat in the shop. He'd smack my hand. Heat's in the tools. Don't go anywhere. We're going live with Shop Talk in just 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Oh, and the race to the beginning. So David Crum said, I think I beat Draco by the clock. Draco comes in at 20:57:36. David Crum 20:57:49. So just microseconds behind. Tom Banks in the house with us. Jeff McKinney in from northwestern PA, snowy northwestern PA. Draco says it's cold in Cincinnati too. Cheryl Daggett O'Brien, better known to the world as Mailbox. Just spent a lot of time with her on the High Seas Rally. That was a blast. Radar's in the house with us, one of our tankful painters from the Smokeout. It's going to be awesome. Good show tonight, man. Hey, listen, you can do your part to help us get this show out and about. Hit the like and share button. Let your friends and neighbors know when we go live every week, Sunday, 9 p.m. Look at Professional Monkey already. Not to be a jerk, but it's 69 degrees here. You can kiss my ass. We're not going to see 69 again until March at least. Mailman says 33 here, kind of chilly for Atlanta. It actually gets 33 in Atlanta.
It gets cold down there, yeah.
I thought Georgia was hottest. I thought that's where the devil lived, right? Devil went down to Georgia, wasn't it?
When you lived there, you just went there.
2 minutes, we're going live with Shop Talk. Just enough time for you to grab a drink, sit back and relax, and get ready for 90 to 120 minutes of all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit. Shop Talk going live. Oh, last couple minutes here. We'll go through the Marshall Fitzpatrick in with us. 31 degrees in North Carolina, says Radar. 19 in Michigan, Nick Hildebrittle. Screw that. It's too cold for ice cream? Nope. Never too cold for ice cream. Hey, listen, man. Before we go live with this program, I want to remind you guys, you can be involved here. That comment box will be up throughout the show. Anything you want to know about, you want to ask questions, you just want to make a smart-ass remark, do your part, get involved with Shop Talk. Without any further ado, and having said all of that, let's get this one out of the station, up on the tracks, and go live with this week's episode of Shop Talk. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It's just after 9 p.m. on the East Coast. That means it's time for another episode of Shop Talk. I'm your host, Chris Callen with Cycle Source Magazine, 50 floors below the street level here in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio, and I'm joined as always by my illustrious crew.
Hi. We need an elevator.
Let's see. Listen, the parking lot is filling up quick. Matt Smith, Tom Mafuxon Jessup. Mafuxon, I think it says.
Look at him.
That's what it says.
Greg White in the house. Mrs. Monkey. What's up, Mrs. Monkey?
I'm borrowing that name tomorrow.
Mafuxon.
Yeah, I'll be borrowing your name tomorrow.
Jeff McKinney's in with us. Good to see all you guys here, man. It's so good. Like last week, we were actually a little apprehensive because everybody kept saying to us, "Hey, man, you know that like you guys are going up against Yellowstone. This is motorcycles. I don't listen.
But wait a minute. I call bullshit because you were pissed you had to wait till the following day to watch Yellowstone.
But that's what I'm saying. DVR that shit. Shop Talk's live. I don't know what to tell you.
Haven't watched it yet.
No.
Dude, it's
Totally
gonna be a good
bullshit on
season.
you.
Cocaine in the house. Bob Britt with us. Wow, so
Cocaine?
many people. Cocaine. When you want to get down.
I'm gonna borrow that name too.
All right, man.
Oh,
hey.
Mark, remind me. I have a new word for you.
Ooh.
It's going to be your new favorite word.
Word of the day. We need to
Are
start
we
doing
allowed,
the word
is this
of the
something
day.
we can talk about on the show? I mean,
don't
we're
know
doing
if
a
I
show,
can say
so
it on the show.
why is your mom watching?
Can you write it down and hold it up?
It's got the F word in it.
Ooh.
I can't
love the
say
F
it
word.
on the show.
Me too.
I'll write it down and hold it up. It's going to be
Are
Mark's
you
new
kidding
favorite
me?
word.
This is why we call her Holly Hobby.
I have two new names for tomorrow and a new word. Everybody's gonna hate me.
Are you actually writing it down?
Yes.
You're killing me. Fuckstrated.
When you're so effing frustrated.
Yeah. We'll put them together. That will work.
Right?
Oh, that's
It's the
good
best
shit.
word.
And I will be tomorrow about 7:15.
Right?
You get to work at
Yeah,
7:10, right?
Yeah, I'll be there at 7-ish. I'll be frustrated by 7:15.
Professional monkey said we already have Mafuxon.
Oh,
So I think that's a word. I think everybody can share Mafuxon.
yeah. That's not a bad word.
Fuckstrated is beautiful.
Right?
Heather, very nice job.
Oh, I have a whole bunch of words like that.
Now I got to come up with a new word for next Sunday.
So
I have another one for Mrs. Monkey, too.
lots of stuff going on here. Like I said, we're out in the shop. You know, the heater is running here in Pennsylvania. It's absolutely freezing. We got a cold spell that came through, man, that like blew a bunch of lake effect snow super early for us. But
It didn't come here, so that's okay.
it lit a fire under our asses, and we're getting things up to speed in the shop. We had to clear out a year's worth of I don't give a rat's ass where we put it. We have to leave again in 2 minutes. So that took a minute. One of our guests tonight actually applies to this because I found these amazing products. Like, you know, one of the things that will slow you down in building a frame when you only build one frame. Let me say this, because every guy out there that manufactures frames is going to go, dude, I just have axle plates and everything sitting on the shelf
in a
ready to
bin.
go. But if you only build one of them here and there, taking the time to, you know, go to the laser cutter and have the axle plates cut and machine your motor mounts and everything, like it can be very time consuming. So
Can be
I
pesky.
found this killer website, guy that has all these products ready to go. You tell him what size tubing, what you're making, you know, 4-speed, 5-speed, whatever, and he ships the stuff out to you in one box, ready to go, and it's for a good price too. So that's Al Wilkerson out of Bitter End Choppers. We're going to be talking to him on the show. We also have John Jessup coming on to talk about the Christmas bicycle program that they do at Dream Rides of Tennessee. So going to be a great show. If this is your first time tuning into Shop Talk,
Shame on you.
shame on you. Tell your friends that, you know, there's regular Sunday evening motorcycle programming going on here and that they should skip Yellowstone till Monday night too. Lots of stuff we do here is just like our motorcycle magazine, Cycle Source. You know, there's some feature bikes, some tech, some product stuff.
A little bit of this, a
Little
little bit of
bit of
that.
We do 90 to 120 minutes, all the two-wheel bullshit we can fit.
And if you watch the whole thing, you will not be frustrated.
You won't be frustrated. We can be frustrated by the end of it plenty of times. Mm-hmm. But you're all right. We're going to start the whole thing off like we always do with a little segment we call The News. The Shop Talk World Report is brought to you by Law Tigers. That was the compensation we deserve and get back on the road with Law Tigers. Okay, first up in the news tonight, this comes in from Dealer News. Destination Daytona changes hands. We heard about this a little while back, but this was actually a post that we saw the other day where they were taking down the name Rossmeyer and putting the new owner's name up on the building. After 28 years, the ultimate bike week destination, the Rossmeyer family, has sold Bruce Rossmeyer's Daytona Harley-Davidson and the Destination Daytona complex to automotive powerhouse turned motorcycle dealer Ted Morse of the Ed Morse Automotive Group. Our kids continued Bruce's dream after his death, and I'm very proud of them, said principal owner Sandy Rossmeyer. Nothing Bruce Rossmeyer's dream will live on, or noting. Yeah, like this is the sad thing. We got to stop and recognize here for a minute. Bruce Rossmeyer set down the gauntlet once upon a time, and a lot of us will remember him doing this, man, that he was going to move Daytona out of Daytona when he had his place down on Beach Street and was frustrated with the practices of the local government. He said, hey, be careful because I will pick this shit up and move Bike Week with me. And they were like, whatever, dude. And I'll be damned if he didn't at least do half of that. So
I think the Limp Nicky did the other half.
But I have a question.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
So Ed Morse Automotive bought it, and it's called Teddy Morse. Do you think they bought it for the son to keep him out of trouble?
Good.
I'm just curious.
Could be possible.
Said like a woman who worked within a corporation that had a challenge or two in the nepotism department.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So anyway, it's sad because it's the end of an era, I mean.
Well, hopefully they keep it going. Hopefully they don't wreck it or do anything stupid.
You just wonder, like, without the day-to-day having the Rossmeyer family, I mean, really, because
that was the backbone.
What the girls were doing there, too, after Bruce was gone, it continued along the same lines.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Matt said Teddy's a good guy.
Oh, see?
Good.
There you go. Run your mouth. Get us in trouble.
I didn't say he was a bad guy. I just wondered if this was a gift.
Moving on. Next up in the news,
Nice.
Tucker Power Sports partners with AIM Expo.
Oh, boy.
We all know that Tucker Power Sports has more than 5-decade history being a leader in the power sports distribution, and that isn't about to change. In fact, they're planned to set up in 2023 to help dealers get off to a great start for the upcoming riding season with their involvement in the AIM Expo. So AIM Expo, moving on. Tucker Power Sports going to be a big part of that this year. Watch for more information. Maybe we can get somebody from AIM Expo on with us to give us some more details.
Oh, that would be cool. I will make a note of that.
There's an open invitation. Hey,
mental note.
Listen, on a sidebar to the news, I saw a really neat thing that Dennis Kirk is doing. Last year we did the whole FXR ride away program with them where we built an FXR and they gave it away at the end. And this year they're doing kind of a similar program with Mr. Yaffe, and I found out about this and brought you guys a video, so check this out.
Hi, Paul Yaffe here, Paul Yaffe's Bagger Nation, and I have some exciting news I want to talk to you about an exciting new project that we're doing here at the shop in conjunction with Dennis Kirk. This is a 1993 anniversary edition Harley-Davidson FXLR, and what we're going to do with it with Dennis Kirk is we are going to completely restore the bike to showroom condition. And this is how I love to start a custom project. Everything will be as attended from the motor company in 1993 when this bike was produced. What I can tell you is that I'm going to need a lot of help. And the help I'm going to need, mostly from Dennis Kirk, is their wonderful catalog of parts. So anytime I need tires from back then, I need parts for the motor, gaskets, pistons, valves, seals, gears, full gasket sets, all the things that I would need to keep this bike running and to put it back to as new condition I can easily get from the Dennis Kirk catalog. We're going to do some videos on Dennis Kirk showing you the progress. We're going to give you some opportunities to get involved, help me choose some of the parts that are going on the bike, and then I'm going to unveil the finished product in Daytona, March 2023. So don't miss your chance to win this completely restored 1993 Harley-Davidson FXLR Anniversary Edition. And I'll see you in Daytona when we unveil the thing. Thanks for watching.
In case you guys missed that, Paul is very excited.
He's very excited.
excited.
Very excited.
Hey, so if you guys are digging the stuff that we do here, like I said earlier, it all ties back to the newsstand magazine that we've done for 25 years, Cycle Source, and you can keep up to date with all of the news that we pass along by hitting up cyclesource.com.
Oh, look, I have one.
And check it out. There's the banner, the 22 Source Awards. Voting is over. We've picked the winners, and we are just about to finish the issue that announces.
I know all the winners.
I know, right?
I know something you don't know. I know
I
something
hate when
you
I
don't
win
know.
everything.
What do you got? What do you got there?
Me? Oh, it's the magazine.
The magazine.
See, when you're doing stuff like that, you're supposed to tell me so I can
I
put
did.
a fancy...
You just wouldn't stop flapping your gums long enough to hear me.
Ignoring her as usual. I see what's going on.
What was that? All right, hey man, listen, let's move on.
Hey, Bobby.
We're gonna get to our guest here tonight. I can't believe how many people were on the show tonight.
Well, they all stopped
Maybe
watching
it'll help because I
Yellowstone.
actually had my poop in a group and did a promo this morning.
You pooped this morning?
In a group? In a group poop? My phone didn't ring.
All right, so we got a lot.
I never get invited anywhere nice, just to let you guys know.
We got a lot to get to, but we're going to start off real quick. Check out a new product. When we come back on the other side, we're going to go straight to our first guest, Mr. John Jessup from Dream Rides of Tennessee. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Shop Talk. Hey, this is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine's Grease and Gears TV, and this is your product spotlight. The product spotlight is brought to you by Drag Specialties, the world's largest distributor of aftermarket accessories. Today's product spotlight is a frame builder special. We're back in the shop for the winter, and you guys know wintertime is building time here in the Source Garage. And lucky for us, we happened across bitter end old school choppers because the biggest pain in the ass is getting ready for a frame build. All the different fixtures that you have to make and have ready before you can go over to the jig and start making your frame. Not really a problem if you're building 50 of these at a time. If you're only doing one, having a source like Bitter End is really great. All in one package, they will make and supply to you the axle plates ready to go with adjusters on them, the transmission mounts, the motor mounts, the cross members already notched to your specification of frame tubing that you're using. They'll even throw in the neck, although you guys saw that we're going with Tinworks necks this time. But all of this comes in good quality, American-made steel, American-made products from Bitter End old school choppers in the neighborhood of $500. But when you consider what it would take to go to your local laser or water jet cutting operation and get some of this done, and to even machine this stuff yourself, it's worth its weight in gold when you want to hop in the shop and get working on your frame. So check them out today, Bitter End Old School Choppers. Tell them the guys from Grease and Gears Garage sent you. Okay, I'm so excited to be in the shop. I can't wait. I can't wait till the damn magazine's done.
Oh, you're worse than a kid at
Oh,
Christmas.
dude, I got all my tubing ready. I'm doing a new thing that we're doing with frames this year that, like, I'm super fired up about with some stainless stuff, man. And, like, you know, I feel like
And
it's...
this will actually be your first, if I'm not supposed to say this, and oops, you didn't tell me that.
You can.
This is going to be your first frame build. You've designed frames.
Full in-house frame,
And
yeah.
you've sent all your frame
Yep.
geometry off to have them built, but you're actually doing the build.
Yeah, and that's a funny thing because the last thing I need to do is on our
Make
frame
the frame.
fixture. Well, yeah.
That's the last thing you have to
But the one thing that was holding me up was the transmission mount locator. I hadn't done it on this. We had only used this frame for doing hardtail stuff. So we're finally getting that done through the help of Josh Boggs at Steel City Blacksmith. He's machining some stuff for that fixture for me. And I finally realized why Will Ramsey all those years ago told me that he wouldn't build me a frame fixture, because it pissed me off so bad. Like, I asked him once upon a time, I'm like, hey, man, I said, I really dig your frame fixture. I said, maybe you build one of those for me. How much would it be? And he was like, I won't build you one. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I said, how much? And he said, I'm telling you, I won't build you one. And I'm like, come on, dude, don't be a dick. And he said, listen, if you're going to build a frame, you should understand enough about building a frame to make your own tool to do it. He said, if you don't, maybe you shouldn't be taking somebody else's life in your hands. So
there you go. So Mark, you can ride the bike with Chris first.
No, we're building 2 frames. One of them's for Tom Kiefer.
Oh, so he can ride his first. Professional Monkey, come build my bike, please, and thank you. Well, why don't you come
here?
Up here?
Come here and we'll do it.
Although there is warm and sunny.
But here is everything we need.
So
true.
So our first guest tonight is man, like one of the 2 favorite people of mine and Heather's on the planet. We have a blast every time we're together with John and his wife. And
am I the other?
No, I said one of the 2.
His wife is the other one.
Oh,
yeah, 2 up. It'd be kind of weird if it was you and John Mark. I'm just saying.
Oh, I meant like, am I the other though? You know what I mean? 1, 2, the other. Well, I mean,
without further ado, let's go to the airlines and get John Jessup on, for God's sake.
Just Hanging Out in the Shop is brought to you by Spectro Oils. Made in the USA since 1966, the best oil on planet Earth.
What's up, John?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good, buddy. What's it like in Tennessee? Everybody's comparing a temperature reading tonight.
You know, it's about 25 degrees in the morning, but it's been sunny and getting up to about 55.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been pretty nice.
Yeah, not here. It's been cold as hell, mitigated by colder than that.
Oh.
Was it 12 this morning?
Oh, Jesus, like dude. It's like that bone breaking cold, man.
It's disgusting.
Coming up to the holiday season, and I'm so excited that you guys are doing the same program that you did again last year. Is what we asked you.
So let me give you a little bit of history. So we actually started doing this back in Stockton in 2019.
I didn't know that.
My business partner Jim and my brother-in-law, we took in a kind of a rat Softail trade-in bike. We're like, hey, let's just give this thing away. And we came up with this program for people to donate bicycles for kids in the community. And it's been a hit. So this is our 4th year doing it in Stockton and our 2nd year doing it in Tennessee. You know, and one of the wonderful things about the program is all the guys in the shop donate their time to put all the parts on the bikes. Out in Stockton, my younger brother Tom Fuxon Jessup and my brother Jim and all the guys working there donate all their stuff to get the bike handled. Same thing in Tennessee with all the guys working in Tennessee. We've teamed up with a ton of great sponsors. I can't even name them all, but you know, Nest sends us a bunch of products, Chromeworks, Clockworks, Saddleman Seats, Bassani, Legend Suspension outfits both bikes with full suspension front and rear. In California, our painter throws a custom paint job on it. In Tennessee, we had a pinstriper pinstripe it. And all the bicycles stay in our local community. In California, we've teamed up with the Police Youth Activity League to donate or distribute all the bicycles. And in Tennessee, there's a big church group that we've teamed up to give away all the bicycles. That way, little kids can have bikes. You know, my brother and I were fortunate enough to be raised by our grandmother, and there was enough money to keep us warm and keep food on the table, but there wasn't a ton extra. So, you know, this is near and dear to my heart, and it just feels good to give back.
Absolutely.
I love that. John, do you know how many bikes you've taken in over the past couple of years?
Well, I can tell you last year was our first year in Tennessee, and we did 204.
In just Tennessee?
In just Tennessee.
Wow.
California, we did close to 200, I believe. And, it's right, usually stays around 200. Now, this year in Tennessee, we haven't counted them yet, but I think we're going to hit 300. That's my goal. We're about 170 right now.
Right on.
And a really cool thing is people from around the country can get in on both these bike raffles. The way it works is if you donate a bicycle, we give you 1 raffle ticket. So if you want to donate 10 bikes, we'll give you 10 raffle tickets. So say 1 in 300, 1 in 200 chance, you get a free Harley Davidson. The way you just jump on Amazon and send it to us. Chris and Heather will share the address here in a little bit.
Yep.
But you can either send it to California, Tennessee, or both. Just put, our shop and attention your name so we know who it came from. But yeah, it's really awesome to be blessed enough to be able to do this.
So I'm going to drop a little clue for people. I was going to order the bicycles today. And when I went to order them, it actually came up that tomorrow they're half off. So now instead of sending 2 bikes, I'm going to send 4. So if you guys go to Walmart and hit their Black Friday deals, I know Walmart's the devil, but on their Black Friday deals, you can get those bicycles for 50% off, so you can send more than 1 for just a couple bucks.
Yep.
So pretty good stuff there. Thank you, Heather.
Now, listen, the program is fantastic, and we're actually going to put some stuff up on our social media and on cyclesource.com, too, to help you keep pushing this. Professional Monkey has said
thank you. He
would love to get involved and help you promote this, so we'll put the two of you guys together. But, also, man, like, this is what John said, just to stress on this for 1 second. Community direct charity. You know what I mean? Like, no matter how much we all like the toy runs that we go on and everything else, like, there's nothing better than community direct charities. There's nothing better than doing work that is happening right down the street from where you live.
And everything's going to go to its cause.
Yep. Absolutely. So, killer for you, dude.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's a great
thank
program.
you.
Well,
absolutely.
Let's talk for a minute while we have you on here, because you've had a hell of a year with your traveling around with your brand and having a good time, but you guys have really extended that into your customer base with your program at the local drag race tracks.
Yeah. So the way this started off was, like any brothers, my brother and I have a nice little healthy competition, and we were in Sturgis, and Baker was having their fun drags, and we ran out. Now, Tom and I have been on the track a bunch of times, but it's been a while for me. So we got out there, and I had such a good time that on the way home from Sturgis, I decided I was going to get together with the local Knoxville Dragway and see if they were cool if we just piggybacked off a test and tune night. So we did our first one in September. And we had, I'm going to say 40 plus Harleys on the track and another 40 or 50 watching. And the best part about that is 90% of those people had never been on a racetrack before. So just the buzz in our local community it's awesome, So yeah, I love drag racing. I'm not that fast, but I can get a little faster.
Well, and this is the thing, man, that we forget sometimes, how much fun like a Friday night at the drag race track can be, because, just like everything that's happened in our lifetimes, me, you, and Mark, the more things got popular and the bigger they got, and they dressed everything up. Like if you take the life curve of NASCAR, right, and you think about where NASCAR started from and what it grew into, it's great. It's great that it's this entire empire, but the appreciation. There's a racetrack right up the road from here that still does like the World Outlaws and all the the dirt track stuff, and like going to those things on a Friday night is killer. And when you can actually have people participate in it, and take it back to the roots of where all of this started, I think that's pure gold.
Yeah, and nothing better. nothing better than a day at the racetrack. So,
For me, Chris, it's our custom motorcycle industry. It's tough. There's a lot of online retailers. I'm one of them. But between Harley Davidson turning into all these big auto groups, I think it's up to us small guys to really keep our heritage and our,
Absolutely.
just what we do with motorcycles. And part of that is we get out there and we're part of the communities. I don't just make my living with motorcycles. This is what I eat, breathe, and sleep. I love motorcycles. I love to ride them, to race them, build them, whatever.
Yep.
But we have to, if you have a shop, just get out there and do stuff and get customers involved and don't do it just to make more sales. Do it because you love it and the sales will come. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, look, here's some proof how you actually had to arrange special shipping for all the shit you wanted at Smokeout to send back home. That's you out doing it and loving it.
Yeah, so that turbo bike right there, that bike is so much fun. We actually raced that on a Friday night, then rode it. I rode it from I'm in the Knoxville area out to right outside of Nashville, so about 230 miles there and 230 miles back. 2 days later, we got a best of show.
Right on.
So it's fun to build these really pretty bikes, but it's even more fun to ride them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And this one, if I'm not careful, Heather's going to end up with this motorcycle somehow.
Oh, I love that motorcycle. And do you know what it's called? Do you know the name of that bike?
I forget.
It's called Sex Machine.
That's right.
It's as a sexy motorcycle.
You know what bothers me when you covet other men's motorcycles, right? I thought it was bad enough that I had to worry about you around Sugar Bear. Now it's John Jessup too.
Well, he always smells like lemon pledge. So.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I do love that motorcycle, but honey, I will always be a chopper chick at heart. You know that.
Yeah.
Always.
Thank God for it. Well, listen, man. Tell everybody where they can keep up with everything that you're doing. Through social media, your builds, the bicycle thing, and drag racing once the weather breaks again.
Are we going to go to the drag racing?
I would like to.
Please?
I like drag racing.
Yes. You guys need to come out. That'd be amazing. So in Tennessee, we're under Dream Rides of Tennessee. In California, we're under Team Dream Rides. My personal is Dream Rides John, or you can hit me at Facebook on, just my name, John Jessup. The number one thing is I just want to say thank you for bringing me on here, and if you can send us some bicycles, it'll make some kids smile for Christmas who might not otherwise been able to.
Oh, I'm sending them tomorrow. And actually, Chris, I just dropped 2 images in John's Flickr folder with the addresses. I don't know if you can put those up on the screen for a minute.
Will.
If you don't mind. That way people can write them down. I did also post them in the comments. And don't forget, if you buy your bikes tomorrow from Walmart, they're 50% off, so you can send more than one.
Yeah, buddy. That was brilliant. Leave it to my wife.
Brilliant.
So here's where to send bicycles to Tennessee. There's where you can send them to California. Tennessee, California. Tennessee?
Oh, how did I know you were going to do that?
Camera 1, camera 2.
And
I was thinking about that today. We literally, we are the generation that grew up with Wayne's World and shit. And here we sit. Oh, God.
John, are you sure you asked to come on the right show? Come on, you should know better by now, dude.
Actually, I'm going to see if I can come back on in here in a couple of weeks, give you guys a status update on the bicycles.
Absolutely.
And
you have an
maybe
open
we can do
invitation.
a final push.
Yes.
Final push,
You have an open invitation to come on anytime.
Awesome.
That
Thank you,
just
guys.
is an ongoing invitation. Remind me again when you're doing this. You're doing it at an open house that you're having next month, right?
Okay, so in Tennessee, we're doing a bike night at Windy City Grill. It's a restaurant a couple doors down from me on December 15th. That's a Thursday night. and we're going to take donations right up until about 10 minutes before we pull the winning name. In California, we're doing it December 17th, which is in our parking lot in California. The weather in California is a little bit more welcoming in December than it is in Tennessee.
A little
we're
more
still gonna do it
conducive to a bike night.
Yeah, we're still going to do it at the shop in California. And and you know, Tom and Jim and Annie over there, they'll take donations right up until the last minute. And they're giving away a 2003 Road Glide. We're giving away a 2010 Road Glide. Like I said, they're decked out with all the baddest parts.
Right on.
Chris, they're not too far from us. Maybe we can go to their open house. It's after deadline.
Yeah,
I have a place you can stay.
Oh boy.
He just wants to get you back close to that pink motorcycle.
We know what's going on.
Let's see. All right. Well, listen, John, thanks for coming on, man, and give our best to Janine, please.
Will do. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank
All right,
you, John.
buddy. You take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Send motorcycles. Send motorcycles. Send bicycles.
Send bicycles.
Send motorcycles
well,
too.
I think if you're ordering bikes for there,
yeah.
why don't you throw me in for 2?
Sure.
There you go.
Absolutely.
why
I'm going to
not?
order up 6 tomorrow, and I'm going to have them. I might split them between the 2. I'm not sure. We'll see if I could work that out, but I'll definitely be ordering those
Does that
tomorrow.
splitting them between the 2 doubles our chances, right?
Oh boy. Well, you just have to go
no,
further.
you get 3 in Tennessee and 3 in
Right.
California.
Triples our chances.
Same.
Well, I
same
mean, I was
outcome.
sending 4. It's the same chances. You just
Do the math.
No,
Do the
they're
math.
giving 1 bike away in California,
Right.
1 in Tennessee, right?
Right.
So if we're sending to both locations, we get a chance at both bikes.
You're doubling
It's
your
not
chance.
like we would keep the bike anyway, but
You're just doubling your chances.
all right. So listen, rolling on with the show, we're going to take.
We're not lucky. Some
I'm
little
sorry.
kid is because they're getting
Right?
bikes.
That's
so-
right.
I know. I can't believe. So last year alone, they donated between the 2 locations.
I've
roughly,
completely lost control.
Yeah, roughly 340 kids got bicycles last year.
That's awesome.
That's
know, dude.
incredible. That's incredible. We need to do something like that in Pittsburgh.
You know, and
I mean, we can't steal his idea, but
I
we
said
got to
that
do
last
something.
year. Why couldn't we just jump on with his idea, become a part of it, and do it here?
Oh.
You know what I mean? I mean, is that what?
Mark, can we store them in your garage?
Sure, I got plenty of knot room.
He has a bigger room problem than we do. All right, listen, man. This is Shop Talk. You're watching. We go live every Sunday night, 9 p.m. through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. We're going to take a look at a cool feature bike. On the other side, we're going to hurry up and go to our next guest. And you don't want to miss this if you're getting ready to build shit like we are. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Shop Talk. Out of Focus is brought to you by Garage Build. Submit your build, share your passion. Powered by Dennis Kirk.
My name is Michael Lange from Waukesha, Wisconsin. I'm sitting on a 1946 factory Harley-Davidson WR racing machine. I painted it in these scalloped two-tone colors because I wanted to replicate what a privateer bike would have been like. I built this bike in 1984. I restored other WRs as they were right from the factory. This one I decided to go with a different paint job, chrome. Maybe it's a little too much chrome, but I did what I wanted to do for the build. And it's a 750 cc factory race engine, all ball bearing motor, front mount Edison Splitdorf magneto. It's got a 1926, 1927 single cylinder Harley front fork on it, which the AMA allowed you to use parts from other Harley Davidsons on your race bike for making them lighter and so forth. It has a 3-speed close ratio gearbox. It's got a factory MR3 racing carburetor on it. And I decided this year to put a rear brake on it. Prior to that, I had it set up as a brakeless racer. I put these little LED lights on it just to please law enforcement. I doubt if it'll even please them, but it serves the purpose. It got gets me home at night. It's got the narrow WR gas tanks on it, WR saddle and pillion pad. And this actual bike was actually raced by Marvin McEels out of Omaha, Nebraska. He raced it in 1952 at the Springfield, Illinois Mile. I mean, from the earliest age, 4 or 5 years old, I would see a motorcycle and I was just drawn to it. And, I got my first mini bike when I was either 8 or 9 years old. And I still have that today, restoring it. My first street bike was actually a 1938 WLDR chopper. I was 14 years old, and I had that only just for the summer of that year. And that following fall, I was hanging out at this independent bike shop in New Berlin, Wisconsin. One day I got up enough nerve to pull into this guy's shop on my mini bike, and there were drag bikes there and other Harleys. And after hanging out there, and he mentored me in building Harley Davidson engines and drag motors. In the back, he had this 1948 UL Flathead, and it was a stock bike. And I wanted that. But he said he couldn't sell it to me because I was only 15 years old. So he had to sell it to my mom. And I still have all that paperwork yet today. And that bike I still own. I've owned it for over 50 years, and it's in the Bill Dodge BC Moto Invitational. Yeah, I've been racing board track motorcycles and, 1940s, 1950s flat track motorcycles for the last, this is my 45th year doing that. I have a shop, Michael Lange Company, LLC, or L&M Racing, and I build a lot of race motors for a lot of people around the world. And it's a true honor to be able to be entrusted with other people's very, very rare and unique factory race engines. My name is Michael Lange from Waukesha, Wisconsin.
All right, guys, it's winter in the Midwest. Temps are dipping into the low 30s. It's the bikes are put away for the season. It's that time of year. We call this build season. Every year a bunch of us at S&S build a bike or build something during the winter. This year we're giving it kind of a new twist. So a handful of us are building bikes and kind of competing against each other, and we're going to let you guys judge it. So welcome to the 100-day Sportster Throwdown. Follow us along on all of our social media channels. Time to get building.
Hey, this is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, and today I want to talk to you guys about tires. So I'm in the Dennis Kirk warehouse, where they pretty much have a tire for anything on two wheels. That's one of the tricky things today in your local shop. Sometimes it's hard to get a tire. Well, they ship today from here, so pretty much any of these you can have tomorrow. Everything for your dirt bike, your ATV, your UTV, you can get these out today. And in addition to features like the tire finder on their website, if you buy the wheel at the same time you buy the tire, you get free mounting and balancing. Check them out today at DennisKirk.com.
Bikers Info USA, the first bikers app by bikers, for bikers, and it's free. National and state events, Sturgis and Daytona, Bikers Info USA. Every motorcycle manufacturer dealer listed. Biker products for you and your bike. Bikers Info USA. Find the places to go, places to party, places to stay at every event, Bikers Info USA. Download it now. It's free. Bikers Info USA.
Welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle.
What was the name of that company? I don't think I...
Mark?
What is it?
Did he say excited?
So excited.
Okay. All right, man. So listen, moving into the second half of the show, thanks for being here with us. Shop Talk, every Sunday, 9 p.m. East Coast. We go live with another truckload of this bullshit.
Did you just have a stroke?
No.
I thought
I started saying truckload, and then I thought, when I was putting the tailgate on my truck tonight, did I put the plate on the back side that... And then I remembered I gave Mark the bolts, and I don't know if I have my own bolts.
Wow, that sounds like a whole bunch of being...
It's a big step.
I just wanted an opportunity to talk about my truck. I'm going to tell you the truth.
Madoli.
Next guest is going to help you like he's helping us build cool shit in the shop. Let's go to the lines and bring on Al Wilkerson.
Just Hanging Out in the Shop is brought to you by Spectral Oils. Made in the USA since 1966, the best oil on planet Earth.
Oh, sorry about that. What's up, Al? That was me. That was all my
so
bad.
hard to find good help.
And I know, and you know.
Did my unmute work?
Yeah, there
Yes.
you go.
Yes, it did.
Okay, cool.
So I gotta tell everybody the story about how this came to be this weekend. I'm doing what I do in the middle of the night. I'm looking for chopper parts, and I'm trying to get ready to build these frames. And I got a bunch of guys that'll make me axle plates, and I got a water jet guy and a laser jet guy that we work with. But I'm looking through websites, and actually Rick Bray turned me on to your site, Al, and he said, "Hey, check this out." And there it was, all in a kit, everything I needed to build a frame, all the independent fixtures. So I go on the next day, and I'm like, I'm just going to order all this stuff. I go on, and I'm trying to order, and I was having a problem with the site, so I sent an email to the administrator of the site, and I said, hey, I'm having a hard time ordering. This is what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. And he said, hey, why don't you just give me a call? So I call him up, and I'm like, hey, this is who I am. I want to get this stuff, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, dude, I got to tell you, like, I'm so impressed with all of this stuff that you have and the prices that you have on it, because it wasn't expensive at all. I said, I'm so impressed with this. I said,
don't say that. Now he's going to raise his prices.
Well, I already got the shit that I need. So, but I told him I was so impressed, and I wanted to put this stuff on Shop Talk, and he was like, yeah. He said, when Pat Jansen first got to Iowa, and a light bulb goes off over my head, and it was the dumbass alert, the light bulb that goes off to show you what a dumbass you are. So we had actually been introduced to Al a while ago, and we should have done all of this stuff way before this. So I apologize for that, Al, but the product is dope. Like, we already got the first part of the shipment in, and I've already been test fitting stuff and getting ready to make a run to it, and I can't thank you enough.
Well, I can't thank you enough for the opportunity. I'm amazed. This is really cool. Just a clarification on the product spotlight. You mentioned the $500 you spent, and that was for 2 full kits, if you recall.
That's right.
I told you.
That's right.
But he just lowered the price.
I didn't want anybody out there thinking I've gotten thinking I'm a hot stuff or something.
No. I should be. I bought 2 kits at the same time, and I said $500 neighborhood, like, because there was different options too. Like, you have a basic kit, an everything basic kit. There was a bunch of different stuff that you have, right?
Yeah, and our overall philosophy is we're trying to have everything you need to build from scratch. We have a Springer Builder's kit. If you're building your frames from scratch, our idea is if you needed to build from scratch, just come here. We got you.
I didn't see the Springer Builder kit. Where is that? Springer parts?
Yeah. So that left. You're there. You're there. Too quick for me, man. You don't even need me.
Oh, I need you, Al, because I'm gonna be ordering some of this shit right
Thanks,
here.
Al.
Right on. Well, that's what I like, is really, like, you can tell there's nothing worse than ordering from a company that, like, when you get down to the nuts and bolts of it, it's a pain in the ass because you know the person on the other end has no idea what you're going to run into, what you need, and when it's somebody that's actually doing the work, it makes all the difference in the world.
Well, and I have the opposite problem because when you call me, I'm probably under the weld hood with gloves on and dirty, and so I have to take everything off just to talk to you. So that takes a minute, and people don't realize that I'm in the middle of doing my own stuff when they call. You know, so. They probably think I'm kind of uptight, but I'm just trying to get undressed enough to talk, you know.
And listen, Mark has that same problem.
Me too.
When I call him, it takes him a couple minutes to get all his clothes off before he talks to me.
Yeah, that's why normally I just don't answer the phone.
Creepy. No, like, this is so cool. I wish I had found this before Chris, because I never know what to get my husband for Christmas because he always just gets it. This is the perfect place for me to go to get him, like, Christmas presents, birthday presents.
Listen, Christmas is coming up, and let me give you a little hint. What's on Santa's list right now for Uncle Chris?
Well, and I know you're partly being facetious, but a lady actually bought a full frame jig build and a startup parts kit for her husband for his birthday the other day. She dropped almost $4,000 on a full frame jig.
Well, I'm not that nice.
As a birthday present for her husband. I'm like, best wife ever.
Well, see, I have to tell you, I'm totally not being facetious.
No, not at all.
I'm really not, because, like, how many, 3 years ago, I bought you a shovel head for Christmas?
Yep.
So, like, this is literally going to be my go-to
this
for
is,
him.
This is
you have no idea.
Between her and her mother, this is what kind of smartasses they are. She asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I said a shovel. You know, because she's been around this shit long enough. She speaks the language. So
my mother asked you.
When we get to Christmas, we're having Christmas at her mother's. They bring out a wrapped up snow shovel, and I'm like, really, you dirty bastard. So I unwrapped the snow shovel, and the title was in the pan of the shovel. They actually got me a shovel head. Best Christmas ever.
Well, I don't know about ever.
So no, I'm totally not being facetious. You just, like, saved me for every holiday with him. You're my hero.
Well, let's talk for a little bit, because you said, like, you know, you getting out from under the hood because you're working on your own stuff. The experience that you have, like, in talking to Pat, we were talking about some of your builds, and
we're not going to hold it against you that you're friends with Pat Jansen.
No, not at all.
But I wouldn't blame you. And I try to hide that.
Oh, listen, everybody has that drinking buddy, so we get it.
Yeah,
and he is one of my favorites. So
it's just that he happens to be everybody's drinking buddy.
Yeah, right. He's so good at it, though.
Oh my God,
he's the man.
So we want to talk a little bit about your career with building bikes and the stuff that you've done. Like, you've even had stuff go the whole way to, like, AMD World Championship level.
Yeah, I'm in my 19th year, and you'll catch me rounding it up to 20 just for simplicity. I was invited to be in the World Championships in 2008, I believe, back when it was an invite thing. They didn't really have a big, awesome qualification system like they have now. So I went to Sturgis for that in 2008, and that bike right there is my entry. So I've been doing this. Before that, it was my hobby for 10 or 15 years. And I work with my hands in the shop every day.
Just as I put that up, this is the picture that comes up.
He's working with his hands.
Yeah. This is part of the reason I like shows. That's a picture of my shop, my new shop. So I bought an old school. So I literally am in an old school. It's a 7,000 foot
right on
square foot old grade school. It was a 6th grade, built in 1957. It's 7,000 square foot. And under that white roof there is the old half court gymnasium. That's my shop where I build the bikes and build the parts. And then the rest of it is 10 bedrooms because they converted it from an old assisted living place from an old grade school into an assisted living place. So what's cool is when customers come to pick up their bikes, a lot of times they'll spend the night and party with me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So this this
Mark's
spread,
like, I'm in.
Yeah.
this spread, did you do the truck and the bike with it?
Yeah, my friend Bob Folkstad, who's goes to SEMA every year, built that truck to showcase his cooling products for Hot Rods GC Cooling. And he built the truck, and he had me build a bike to match it, and it was made it right into a magazine. I was awful proud of that.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah, really neat.
So where did it come in? I mean, is it just out of necessity that, you know, you're a bike builder? I know how the motorcycle industry goes up and down and stuff. Or did you end up with so many other friends that were also bike builders that needed the product? You know, was it just about the extra money that you can make along the way, or providing a service? Because I think now today there's so few people actually doing what you're doing that it's absolutely about providing that service.
Yeah, and are you talking specifically about frame parts or building frames?
Like the frame parts, the jigs, you know, even now that you come to say that, even building frames, because there's less guys out there doing that all the time too.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank Paco. Paco sends me a lot of business because Ian there at Paco. Because when someone calls Paco for a frame and it's just not in their parameters, Paco sends them to me, and I build those frames. We start by drawing them out in CAD CAM. We'll draw your full roller so you can actually see what your bike's going to look like before we ever start cutting and bending. Huh. As far as the origin of how I ended up doing this, so when I started in 2004, I wanted to be, you know, the next big star builder. And I thought, well, if I build my own frames, that'll put me $1,000 or $2 ahead on budget. You know, I won't have to go out and buy a frame. And also I'll be able to build a unique frame for every build, which I've always thought, you know, custom motorcycles should be almost completely unique. And that was my original idea. And then I was just like everybody else on the world. Where do you get the individual components? And I started, I had a lathe, a mill, you know, I had basically a full machine shop. I wanted to always be able to do everything myself. And I had a bunch of journeyman machinists that hung out and taught me how to do all this stuff. And every time I invented some product to use for myself, I threw it on the website to see if somebody else wanted it. And sure enough, they did.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
A guy I'd like to give some credit to, a guy by the name of Gary Weishope that started his website right around the same time as mine, called Chopper Builder Handbook. He was one of the first guys that ever published like blueprints for frames. At the time, he caught a lot of hell for it from, you know, purists that thought he was being sacrilegious. And but he started a whole kind of home frame builder industry by doing that. And I feel like I owe him a lot, and I was lucky enough to start at the same time and hook up with him.
Yeah, I saw that on your site, actually, under the frame jig section, the Chopper Builder's Handbook. And you know what, man, that's something to talk about too, because, you know, whether it's motor guys or fab guys, and, you know, I had told the story about the guy that my friend that didn't want to build me a frame jig, he wanted me to learn how to do it on my own first. You know, this industry, especially now, you know, the people, like, this show's packed tonight, and it's people that are interested in going out in the garage and doing stuff. Yeah. And I think that was a really, really important part of where all of this started. And I think something that's it's kind of been dwindling for the last 10 years. And with it, we've seen a dip in motorcycles.
And not only that, you're giving people, by making all these individual parts, the opportunity to give this not only a shot on their own, but for them to find out how hard in one sense it is, but then how rewarding and how cool on the other side it is. So you question going into this, you know, oh, can I do it? Can I do it? It's amazing what you can do if you take your time and you have good quality parts to work with. So I think that's the biggest, that's the biggest win for, you know, going with a company like you. You're getting a quality part, which is going to make your next step even, you know, not easier, but it's going to make it more comfortable for you. You know, you're starting with a good axle plate. You know, you're starting with good, you know, transmounts and stuff like that. So that's a big factor.
Yeah, and I think you save about a week easy when you start with a box full of all the component parts. Then than you do if you try to start with just raw metal.
And brother, I got to tell you, if you think it's as simple as wait a minute, I'm sorry, I gotta pass this message along, because there's a guy that actually just asked the question, can you order with a VIN stamp? Those are not the questions you should be asking right over the internet, my man.
No, the answer is no.
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 Or it could be no.
No.
No, but
if the feds are listening, it's hell no.
Yeah, hell no. Yeah, right, exactly.
Absolutely not.
Call me.
I know nothing. I see nothing.
So this is something to talk about, because Steve Burrows puts up the question: do you have blueprints? So do you actually have blueprints? And anybody that thinks that you're going to save any time by just getting ordering a set of blueprints and you're going to be off running and make your own fixtures and stuff to get going on here, you will not save that week. I promise you.
You're not building a house here.
It took me 2 days to start to understand the blueprint as a beginner blueprint reader. So
and I recommend you take them to I'm so old, Kinko's, whatever, FedEx store. Have it printed out in that very large format. Hang it on the wall next to your jig.
Yeah.
You'll be so glad you did that.
And buy extra metal.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. I mean, one thing I did when I first started is I used to go to my metal suppliers and just say, hey, can I raid your drop pile? Can I just dig through your drop pile and grab a bunch of stuff and you give me a price for it? I didn't care. I just wanted a bunch of stuff laying around.
Yep.
To answer your question about the blueprints, because of my loyalty to Gary, I've always sent people to him for the blueprints. So I'm blueprint adjacent. I offer a CD that gives you blueprints for a frame jig. There's other things that I have that have some simple blueprints for reference, but.
Well, what's his site? Where can I go? I'll bring him up. We'll give him. It's
called Chopper Builder Handbook, and I'm pretty sure it's just www.chopperbuilderhandbook. I think. That's still what it is. He's been around longer.
There's an S.
Yep. Let me put his link up real quick too.
I just talked to him on email like last week, and he said he's still at it. He still says he's going to do it till he dies. So I'm like, cool. Not the cool that he's going to die.
Yeah, right. Yeah, taking this,
not making
a log. No, I didn't mean
not that I have a log.
Yeah, taking this to where you're making it easier for people to actually build their own bike. That's fantastic. But like you'd said, don't think you're going to go in and these parts are going to fall together and you're going to get a blueprint and you're going to. No. There's a lot of, actually, me and Chris have been going over a lot of times when it comes to frames. Like Heather said, we built multiple frames, but never really. Every time we build a frame, we get in a car and go somewhere. And it's going to be so nice to be able to not have that pressure and to be that week behind by that week of travel. It'll be done here, and you know what I mean. So getting these parts is great, but take your time, get these blueprints, learn how to read them, pay attention to what you're doing, and don't be afraid to mess up.
I like to looking at the Chopper Builders Handbook page right away. I want to get this book and get this cat on the show too.
Yeah,
because for sure.
The stuff that he starts with, the rake and trail, like everything about stretch, tubing, tools, wired tire bikes. What is a chopper?
Well, and he gets extra points because if you go to the What is a Chopper page and scroll down, you're going to see Ben Hardy there.
Oh, right on.
So just like that in and of itself, big extra points right there.
Yeah.
Big extra points. Oh, yeah, we should definitely have him on.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, since we're talking about, we're kind of aiming our conversation right now as like first-time virgin frame builders. I want to throw out a couple pieces of advice because safety is paramount. Nobody wants frame failures getting into the news. That's bad for the sport.
Yep.
Amen.
So I'm gonna throw out a couple of just real simple safety ideas when it comes to fabrication. First of all, gusset everything. Gussets are your friend. Anytime you have a juncture of two frame members and you wonder, gusset it. If you're wondering, should I gusset? Gusset. Yes. Secondly, over-engineer. You're not trying to drag race, so you don't need to make the world's lightest titanium frame. You need this thing to survive a car crash. So if you think, hey, I bet eighth to be strong enough here, use quarter. I always say belt and suspenders when it comes to engineering.
Yeah.
I think those two things will keep most frames on the road for decades.
Yeah.
I have a big question when it comes to your first piece of advice. So for everybody who doesn't know, I'm just going to put this up. There's an example of gusseting. So between the upper and lower frame rails there and the top of the neck. If you're going to do a country bar from between your down tubes, do you feel like that replaces the need for a gusset or not?
No, not necessarily. No, not because I'm not familiar with that term, but what I think you mean by country bar is like a tube running from the top motor mount to the down tubes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that really, in my mind, increases the rigidity off of the motor to the down tubes, which is a great idea. But you still want reinforcement because the forks are trying to tear the neck off the frame. They're constantly trying to make your frame neck into a hinge.
Yeah.
And the gusset resists that hinging. If you've ever fatigued metal, it only takes about 5 back and forths to snap a piece of metal in half.
Yeah.
That's metal fatiguing. Gussets stop fatiguing because they stop the movement. So gussets are your friend, man. And they look cool, cut some design in it, shape them, whatever it takes to get hard over it, but put them in there.
Well, and that's I'm sitting here planning out what we're gonna do, and we've done stuff a couple different ways like that, but I was trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with the gusset and how I'm gonna, because I like having a country bar because it kind of gives you the, still reflects to stock a little bit like the old panhead rigids and stuff. So I like having a country bar, but definitely I'm thinking for safety and keeping the stuff that we're doing strong, I want to do the right thing.
Yeah. My philosophy is belt and suspenders. If you think of belts enough, throw on some suspenders too.
Yeah.
I had a customer of mine, mega sized dude like myself, well over 300 pounds, go down on one of my frames at 60 miles an hour. It was a rigid and it kinked the rear end over 3 inches.
Ooh, wow.
They were able to cut the back half off the frame, put on a new back half, and that bike's back on the road.
Yeah.
My buddy reported that my friend / customer, Shane, said, none of your welds failed. Some of your stuff bent, but there were no cracks or failures. And I've always been super proud of that. I always say I want my frames to go through the engine block before they fail.
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit me, you're gonna pay for it.
Right.
Hey, so we have a question in from Rob Nussbaum up at Retrocycle, and he's asking, where did Rob go? Wow, that quick. That many comments are going on. Please ask about castings versus forging versus gussets.
Well, okay, so casting, I guess, I don't even know that that's even used anymore. All those great things, forged products you see putting out by like hardtail choppers, even V-twin manufacturing, which I know a lot of people are anti because of their Taiwan connection, but that's all forgings, and forgings are extremely strong and durable because they're made with pressure, and it just makes metal ridiculously strong. I guess I don't really see gusseting as an either or on the forging because a lot of those forgings have the gusseting built into it.
Right.
Like when you get a neck forging, you'll see the gusseting's already built in there. So I guess I would say your gusseting's probably going to go elsewhere on that frame. If I'm understanding the question, I hope I am.
Rob, please feel free to elaborate more if we haven't covered that. But this is
castings kind of went by the wayside because of the possibility of pores in the castings, which is where they ended up cracking back in the day. And I don't know if anybody even uses castings anymore. That might be up beyond my pay grade, honestly.
I wonder if that was a question that applied to, like, if you were starting with an old cast fixture. I'm not sure, but because I know, like, I think Kiwi still does a lot of stuff with the original castings with old Indians, but
yeah. I guess the first thing I would do with an old original casting, so you're talking about something 70, 80 years old, clean the hell out of it, because it's probably been absorbing oil and dirt and road grime for that whole time. And secondly, if you go welding on it and it acts funny, stop.
Yeah.
Because it's probably made out of something that's either not made to be welded.
Yeah.
You know, like the forgings Harley uses are what they call malleable. They're made to be welded. But the original frames back in those way early days where they what they called furnace brazing, they would actually wrap brass around and throw them in a furnace, and because of capillary action, it would suck that brass into there, and that's how they came out. Those original frames weren't even welded. So keep in mind, when you're working with some old casting, you may have a shit ton of brass, which is the enemy of a weld. Brass will repel, molten mild steel. So I would get an expert involved if there's questions when it comes to those old castings.
Yeah, if you're going that far, you might want to look into somebody who really knows that.
Yeah, because even you're getting beyond me even now with that. So.
Well, this is Craig Glab asked the question. There's been some great frame builders, Mike from Chopper Guys, Fred from Rolling Thunder. How do you differ from other companies from the past? And I think with phrases like capillary action, I think we've covered your knowledge base.
Well, I think one thing, the thing that my last two frame builds, the guys were ecstatic because I sent them a CAD drawn roller drawing of their rolling chassis, what their bike's going to look like, before I even, finalize the specifications with them, and that thrilled them to no end, because they can revise the specifications. They can, hey, I want a little more rake, I want a little more neck height, whatever. And just be able to refine your build before anybody even starts work, I think is like a tech value add that I offer. As far as me as a builder, I've been around for 20 years because I take it damn serious, and we do multiple rounds of inspections on our welds. We do a first pass with a TIG, what I call a root pass. We don't even add filler rod, so that we know for sure we're penetrating 100% all the way down to the as far as you can go. Then we start adding filler on the next round or two, and we don't ship anything unless we've inspected and perfected every weld as many times as it takes. I'm not trying to compare myself with anybody from the past that's great or is still great. I just love doing what I do, and I'll do anything to avoid having to get a real job, honestly. So I just feel privileged that I get to do this for a living, man. But I don't think I'm hot shit. I'll guarantee you that. I don't. One thing owning your own business for 20 years it'll humble you.
Yeah.
I almost said humiliate, because that's how it feels most days. But I definitely don't think I'm hot shit, but I'll work my ass off for you.
On top of that fact, to be asked how you compare to these other people, is sort of, to me, that's almost, you can't really do that. Everybody's their own. I mean, that'd be like saying, do you think you're a builder of Jeff Cochran or Bill Dodge status? You know what I mean? Like, that's not even, it would be boosting your own ego to be like, oh yeah, I could do that. To me, you answered that perfectly. All you're concerned with is that your product is as good as it could be.
Amen.
And that's it. Good. Bad question in my eyes, good answer in yours.
Hey, here's another solid question too. Jim Grady asked, any tube bender recommendations for building a frame? I've been looking, and a few folks have told me it's not the bender, it's the dies.
Well, yeah, certainly a combination. So I can immediately address what I use because I've been doing it so long. I use the JD Squared Model 3, so that right there will tell you what an antique I am. The die, just about everybody's die is made so that it doesn't flat spot. That's the main thing. A good die will do is it'll make your curve not visibly, so you can see where the pressure was at. There's companies that are coming out with innovative tubing benders. I would check them. It would pay to do a thorough search of the whole market when you go to look at your benders, because I've seen some new cool stuff out there where it spits out an exact degree. It shows you on a real nicely that exactly the degrees you're getting. I tell you, more importantly than a bender is your notcher.
Amen.
I have 2 notchers set up. Because one's this I think it was called the Beast or the Monster, something was from JD Squared. It'll do certain notches real well, and then there's another one that will grab on the curve of a bend, so it allows you to notch right up next to a curve.
Wow. Which
I've not been able to do until I bought this bender. And I'll be glad to look up the name of that company, Chris, if you want me to take the time. But I actually keep 2 notchers set up. I would be surprised if someday I have a third, because what eats your time is when you want a certain fish mouth somewhere and you can't get it there because you can't fixture it and cut it. I also use my Bridgeport style vertical mill to notch tubing, because when I just run out of options and I'm just like, I just need to throw this thing in a vise, I'll use my roughing end mills to fish mouth really weird things. But your notching is what'll drive you insane, trying to get a notch in the right spot.
Nope. And that's, the experience that I have, and I'll say this, that I'm kind of new to some of this, but modifying frames and hardtailing shit, like we've done a ton of that. But the one thing I can tell you, Will Ramsey pounded into my head over and over again, is about fitment. Like if you would all walk up to your frame and you have a part that you think you can get away with, take it and throw it away and go make another one. Because unless you have good fitment, everything else falls away from that. If you don't have good fitment, you're not going to have a good weld. You're not going to have the right strength in the end product. Just throw it away and start over. It's got to fit perfect.
The other thing that comes to mind, Chris, when you talk about fitment is get yourself a gallon of acetone and have it sitting on a shelf, way away from any sparks or anything, because it's one of the most volatile organic compounds on the planet. But it's the best way to get a surface clean for welding. Yeah. All your professional TIG welders will wipe something down with acetone to get all the grease, all the dirt off of it. A guy with decades more TIG welding experience than me once said, you want shiny. Your good TIG weld starts with shiny parts.
Yeah.
He says, I don't start welding until I got shiny parts. And what he means by that, it's shiny down to the molecular level. There's no dirt left on there. That's where a really pretty weld starts.
Well, and that's something Will Ramsey pounded into our heads over and over again. Like every time we stopped the torch, we're there with the brush and constantly cleaning, constantly covering our tracks, as it were, But that's imagine that, Mark. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Acetone.
Now, one last caution on acetone: put the cap back on it and put it back on the shelf.
Yeah.
I've walked by many a shop rag on full blast fire. Because a whiff of a spark will set an acetone on a full blaze.
Yeah, and like you said, keep that stuff away, because if you put it in a squeeze container, that stuff will just seep its way out on its own.
Yeah.
Those containers are amazing for that.
Yeah. Well, what it is it's nail polish remover.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
And if you've ever had your daughter remove nail polish, it stinks up the whole room. You realize how volatile this compound is.
Dude, my mom owned a nail salon for years, and when she got a little bit older and shut the shop down, and I started with Chris getting into with Flat Broke building and stuff like that, the first time I walked in and smelled that acetone, it was like, holy crap, that brought back some memories. I never realized that's what it was,
different.
So yeah, it's that stuff is volatile, no questions asked.
So in addition to great products for motorcycles, Al has a complete complement of social media. You can follow along all the stuff he's doing, but most importantly, his YouTube page is full of him actually doing this stuff. He's a fantastic conversation, a great source if you're looking for parts or if you're looking for the whole frame. So I would suggest today, go check this man out. Make sure you're bookmarking his stuff. I'm hoping, dude, honestly, that we get some time to, like, maybe when the weather breaks or maybe even before that, we get out and can come out and do some stuff with you, because you do a lot of the stuff that we like to do. And had I only, and this is, listen, somebody call Pat Jansen and get him to tune into this show right now, because I may never say this shit out loud again. If I would have just listened to Pat Jansen sooner.
Oh, sweet Jesus. He's gonna record that and play it on a reel over and over.
Over and over.
It's the first time and last time in history someone will ever say that. So, Chris, when you guys come out, keep in mind you don't have to get a hotel. I'll just put you up here, man. I got 10 bedrooms.
Right on. I want to see your place, because that's the kind of shit me and Heather and Mark even talks about that all the time. Like, we talk about those and call them garage mahals.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's my next move.
Man. I mean, if I ever get caught up on my workload, I might make it into a biker B&B destination or something. But my backlog. Every time I think I'm gonna shrink it down, a few more months comes back on it.
Yeah.
So
I hear that.
Well, you definitely have to go check out all of the social media that Al has for Bitter End. It's been great actually getting to know you now, man, and we super appreciate the help with the products.
You're gonna wish he never called you. You're gonna be like, dude, not now.
I'm blown away by the opportunity, Chris. I truly appreciate it.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, thanks for coming on, man. We'll be in touch with you and talk real soon again.
Sounds like. Oh, by the way, I still owe you a few parts from that last order this week. So.
Oh, that's cool.
I know
man.
You're missing some stuff. So.
That's cool.
He didn't notice. He was just so excited. You have no idea. He was literally like a kid on Christmas. Every now and then I go out in the shop and he's sitting there looking at him like, "Is the magazine done? Can I do this yet?"
Well, he had told me the whole, oh my God, this is the Pat Jansen, the dude Pat Jansen, had told us about a while back, and like literally I've had a conversation with him about you, 2 days now?
Yeah.
40 times. So, I can't wait to actually meet you, because I'm tired of hearing about you already. So.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't take
now
much.
You know how everybody that knows me feels.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, Al, you do your best to stay warm out there, buddy, and we'll be in touch with you soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot.
See you, Al.
See you, man.
All right, so, hey, you're watching Shop Talk here on the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio Cycle Source Network.
That took a while. That
moving.
Was like, you'd write that down. You could read that faster.
Yeah, moving right along. Guess what's up next, Mark?
What?
Guess
what?
Events.
Guess what? Is it event time?
Weed?
I'm assuming.
No weed.
No weed?
No weed.
Damn it.
It's time for Heather's favorite part of the show.
My God.
The Shop Talk events calendar is brought to you by the Bikers Info app, the Everything Bikers app. All in one place, everything you need, and it's free.
First up, hey, I'm not going to do this if you keep doing that.
If you keep shooting me, I'm not going to do this.
Right. I quit.
No, you don't. You can't quit. You need to be sold.
True.
You got to change that.
Chopper Fest, December 11th, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Ventura County Fairgrounds, back after a 3-year hiatus due to COVID. Everybody that's out there or can get there should go. Again, Ventura County Fairgrounds, December 11th. You can go to chopperfestival.com to get more information on that. Jumping ahead to 2023. January 14th, 2023, Full Throttle Magazine Custom Motorcycle Show.
Full Throttle Carolinas.
Full Throttle Carolinas. Excuse me. Lincoln sent this in the other day. He did invite us to come on down for that. That is in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Not to be confused with Greenbow, Alabama.
Greenbow.
All right, Forrest. Run, Forrest, run. Cycle showcase put on by Big Randy Nold the weekend of February 11th and 12th at the City Foundry in beautiful St. Louis.
Be there. That's going to be a good one.
Mama Tried the following weekend
Mama Fried.
in Milwaukee,
looks like it,
February
right?
18th and 19th. That is at the Eagles Ballroom in Milwaukee.
She said balls.
And then jump
You know,
ahead to...
it's the Eagles Ballroom, you said?
Yeah.
And there's the whole wolf on the helmet thing.
Oh,
you know,
boy.
as much as things change, they really stay the same, don't they?
Oh, boy.
Moving on, Donnie Smith show, March 25th and 26th in St. Paul, Minnesota at the River Center. I can't wait. I'm getting that Snoopy tattoo this year.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now.
I'm in.
And then in Bisbee, Arizona, heading south, March 18th. Sorry, those are out of order, guys. In beautiful Bisbee, Arizona. Stop in and say hi to Jay Allen for us while you're there. March 18th, 2023.
The Prowl.
The Prowl. There's a whole bunch more stuff happening too, but this is what I have flyers for. Backroad Barbecue Run at 6th, May 12th through 14th, 2023 in Trenton, North Carolina.
Right on. And one more time, the Cycle Source Magazine events calendar brought to you by
Biker Info USA.
So excited.
So excited. So excited. The Bikers Info USA. All right,
you
man.
can't make fun of our sponsors like that.
Listen,
Dude,
I'm not
it's
laughing at them. I'm laughing
No,
with them.
actually, you know what? You should be able to. Based on the comedian we watched yesterday,
Oh, my
greatest
God.
comedian ever.
Dude, if you guys have not checked this cat out, you have got it. What's his name again? Brad Williams?
Brad Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He's funny.
He's hysterical. Like, hysterical.
Hey, I can only take him a little bit at a time, but
Oh, terrible.
that's right. I said it. All right.
Can I
man.
get an amen?
So listen, this was Shop Talk. Tell your friends. Great show. Thanks to Al and John Jessup for coming on with us. Thank you for sharing your headspace, your Sunday night, and for DVRing Yellowstone and putting that shit off until tomorrow so we could do some motorcycle stuff
I'm now
together.
never going to watch that show.
You have to watch it. It's
Never going to watch it.
It's not like Sons of Angry Trees.
Angry Trees?
All right, man. Listen, until we can scoop up enough stuff to come back and share it with you next Sunday at 9 p.m.
Next Sunday we have Big Randy from Cycle Showcase on.
And we'll be live here again in the Dennis
We have our
Kirk
next couple shows
Motorcycle
lined up.
Studio. Hey, listen, how about
What?
a little professional courtesy? When someone's talking,
Did I fart?
did you fart?
You said professional courtesy.
I thought the dog got in the room
Anyway,
again.
so next weekend, shut up. Next weekend we have Big Randy from Cycle Showcase on. After that, we have Long John
Cool.
on. He's coming on to talk about his new motorcycle tourism off the unbeaten path in Arizona. And then following that, we have Keith Kaiser from the AMCA coming on.
That's going to be a great show.
I'm very excited.
Lots of cool
I'm
stuff
more
happening
excited
with
because
it.
I actually got guest scheduled.
Terrible, terrible. You're letting our secrets out. Your slip is showing. I almost
Great.
said your shits is slowing.
Your shit's slowing.
Oh, it's time
It's
to go
time to
away,
say
Nancy.
goodnight.
Wow.
Say goodnight,
Until
John Boy.
next week when we come back in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. Same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Bye, Felicia.
Almost didn't make it out of that one. It
We'd
was
like
touch
to
and
thank
go.
our sponsors for their continued support, and we hope you pay them a visit when you're in the market for great motorcycle parts, products, and events. S&S Cycle, Makuni American, Baco Parts, The Broken Spoke Saloon, Twisted Tea, The Iron Horse Saloon, High Seas Rally, Twisted Choppers, Twin Power, Drag Specialties, Geico, Law Tigers, Tech Cycle, Fueling Parts, Lone Star Rally, Hijinks Apparel, Progressive Insurance, Spectral Oil, No School Choppers, Motion Pro Tools.